Paul asked God 3 times to take something painful away from him. And God said no. What happened next tells us everything about what this verse actually means. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, "But he said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Paul called his struggle a thorn in the flesh. Scholars have debated for centuries what it actually was. Some say a physical illness, some say a persistent enemy, some say a disability of some kind. The text does not tell us specifically, and that ambiguity is probably intentional. Because whatever it was, we know 3 things about it: it was real, it was painful, and Paul desperately wanted it gone. He did not pray once and move on. He returned to God 3 times with the same request. "Take this from me." And God's answer was no. But it was not a cold no. It was a no with a reason, and the reason changes how you see everything. My power, God says, is made perfect in weakness. Not despite your weakness. Not eventually, once you have overcome it. In it. Right there, in the place where you feel most insufficient, most exposed, most like you are not enough, that is where something is happening that cannot happen anywhere else. Think about what Paul's life looked like from the outside. He was one of the most influential figures in the early church. He planted communities across the ancient world. He wrote letters that still shape billions of lives today. And yet he carried something he could not fix, could not pray away, could not overcome with enough faith or effort. And God left it there. Not as punishment. As the very thing that kept Paul tethered to grace instead of self-sufficiency. That is the trap that strength creates. When we are capable, competent, and in control, we can go very long stretches without actually needing God. We manage. We perform. We produce. And the distance between us and the source quietly grows, because we have stopped noticing our need. Weakness, as painful as it is, has a way of closing that gap fast. In a world that is completely obsessed with presenting your strongest self, your highlight reel, your credentials, your put-together exterior, this verse is genuinely offensive. It says the things you are most tempted to hide are not disqualifiers. The area where you feel like you are failing, the limitation you are embarrassed by, the struggle you would never post about, that is not the thing standing between you and God's power working through you. It might be the very door through which it enters. And notice how Paul responds once he understands this. He does not merely accept his weakness. He boasts about it. He holds it up. He leans into it. Not because suffering is good in itself, but because he has seen what becomes possible on the other side of letting go of the performance. When you stop pretending to be stronger than you are, something real can finally take over. Sufficient is a word worth staying with. Not overwhelming, not dramatic, not a feeling you will always recognize in the moment. Sufficient. Enough. Exactly what is needed for exactly where you are. Grace that matches the moment, even when the moment is hard and the grace is quiet. The takeaway: you do not have to pretend to be stronger than you are, because God does not need your strength to work through you. He just needs your willingness to stop hiding the places where you need Him most.